Good evening. Thanks for joining us at Awaz News. I'm Kubrali and I'll be taking you through big news across Canada.
Police say dozens of shootings across the GTA are being carried out in gun-for-hire schemes where young people are paid by bad actors to shoot at various targets, including synagogues, Jewish schools, and the U.S. consulate. At a news conference on Tuesday morning, police said they discovered 2 firearms that have been linked to at least 28 shooting incidents across the GTA. The weapons, police said, were likely shared by multiple different shooters. Investigators have identified 3 men allegedly connected to the 2 firearms, including 18-year-old Sheldon Tracy Stewart and 19-year-old Zara Jabi. Those 2 men, police said, are believed to be involved in the shooting at the U.S. consulate back on March 10th. Jabi, police noted, is still at large. The Integrated Gun and Gang Task Force is leading the investigation into the consulate shooting with support from the Counterterrorism Security Unit, police said. The RCMP and the Integrated National Security Enforcement Team, INSET, is also conducting a parallel investigation into what they have described as a national security incident. Toronto police said a third man, Jayon Berger, 18, has been charged in connection with a shooting incident in Etobicoke that has been traced back to one of the 2 guns seized by police. The firearms, a .45 caliber handgun and a 9mm handgun, were discovered after members of the Emergency Task Force carried out a series of search warrants last Thursday. During the raids, police said Constable Mark Pinizzato was shot and killed inside an apartment unit in North York. That suspect, identified by police as 19-year-old Nicolas Binet, is facing 1 count of first-degree murder in connection with the officer's death. 2 men have been arrested and charged with murder after a man was fatally struck by the driver of a vehicle during an altercation in North York over the weekend, police say. The incident happened on June 14 near Keele Street and Wilson Avenue. Toronto police said they were called to that area at around 6 a.m. for reports of unknown trouble. They say a group of people got into a fight in the area during which an adult male was assaulted and struck by a vehicle. Life-saving measures were performed. However, the victim was pronounced deceased at the scene, investigators said in the news release. Police have identified the victim as 32-year-old Eric Safar of Toronto. He is the city's 14th homicide victim of 2026. A second person was also transported to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, officials said on Sunday. Police said an unknown number of suspects fled the scene in a light-colored vehicle. On Tuesday, 2 men turned themselves into authorities. Milan Andros Babos, 18, of Hamilton, and Richard Ola, 23, of Toronto, were arrested and charged with second-degree murder. The charges have not been proven in court. The accused were scheduled to appear in bail court on June 16. Police haven't released any suspect descriptions and continue to investigate the circumstances surrounding this incident. They said they believe it is isolated and added there is no broader risk to public safety. This homicide investigation is ongoing, and anyone with further information, including video footage, is asked to contact Toronto Police at 416-808-7400 or Crime Stoppers anonymously. Ontario Premier Doug Ford shrugged off a recent poll suggesting his popularity has dipped as fake Tuesday, claiming he and his PC party would win a 4th massive majority if an election were held today. I don't like boasting and bragging, but if an election was held today, we are at 41%. We would win a massive majority once again, Ford said. He claimed internal polling from his party as well as other companies tells a very different story than a number of publicly released polls that show the PCs and Ford sliding in popularity. A recent poll released by Angus Reid showed Ford sitting at 21% approval among Ontario voters, the lowest approval rating among the premiers in Canada and his lowest ever as premier. Asked about it by a reporter Tuesday, Ford cast doubt on the credibility of the poll. He went on to attack the methodology for the poll further. While his party doesn't share its internal polling, Ford said it makes sense they would win another majority. According to the Angus Reid Institute, the online poll surveyed a randomized sample of 4,076 Canadian adults from June 7 to 11. That included 850 people in Ontario, the highest sample size of any of the provinces surveyed. A man from Aurora is facing several charges after allegedly committing indecent acts at elementary schools in Toronto and Markham. The first incident happened on May 27 near Jane Street and Finch Avenue West. Toronto police say multiple young students witnessed it. Investigators say the second indecent act took place on June 10th near Highway 7 and Warden Avenue in Markham. Paulo Novella, 66, of Aurora, has been arrested and charged with criminal harassment, indecent act, exposure, and indecent act. The charges have not been tested in court. He was scheduled to appear in bail court on June 10th. Police believe there may be more victims and have released an image of the accused. This investigation is ongoing, and anyone with further information is asked to contact Toronto Police at 416-808-3100 or Crime Stoppers anonymously. People who receive citizenship certificates to Canada's citizenship by decent law are scrambling for answers after an unknown number of them suddenly received requests from the federal government to surrender their certificates over the weekend. Rena Sharon, whose Canadian citizenship was formally recognized in mid-May, says she got a letter from federal government on Saturday asking her to surrender the document. Her letter says her citizenship is being reviewed because she either failed to supply supporting documents from original source authorities or neglected to explain attempts to secure documents from original sources. She says she went through those steps and is frustrated by the lack of an explanation from Ottawa. A spokesperson for Immigration Minister Lena Diab's office says she will not be available for an interview today. Her department has also provided no response to a request made on Sunday seeking more information on the surrender letters. 4 people who are allegedly members of violent auto theft group operating across York Region and Greater Toronto Area have been arrested and charged with multiple offences. In May, members of York Regional Police Auto Cargo Theft Unit launched an investigation into a group connected to motor vehicle thefts across the GTA. Police say officers later identified multiple suspects involved in stealing vehicles throughout Toronto, Peel Region, and York Region. On May 26, police say the suspects unsuccessfully attempted to steal a vehicle in the area of Woodbine Avenue and Shields Court in Markham. With the assistance of air support and canine units, officers located 3 suspects and followed them to an address in Brampton. Police arrested the 3 suspects and say officers recovered a loaded firearm as well as a quantity of controlled substances. During the investigation, police said they recovered 3 stolen vehicles worth an estimated combined value of $400,000. Tejveer Singh Dhat, 21, Soban Malik, 21, and 17-year-old male who cannot be named under the Youth Criminal Justice Act have been charged with multiple offences, including possession of a controlled substance, dangerous operation of motor vehicle, possession of property obtained by crime, and possession of a loaded firearm. A full list of charges can be found here. On June 3rd, police arrested a 4th suspect in the town of Caledon. Shanveer Singh, 19, was charged with 1 count of possession of property obtained by crime. Police say the investigation is ongoing and are asking anyone with information to contact them. The charges have not been tested in court. A funeral is set to be held for a Toronto police officer who was gunned down while executing a search warrant in the city last week. Constable Mark Pinizzaro was fatally shot on June 11th while investigating a number of shootings across the city, including a shooting at the U.S. consulate. Pinizzaro was an 18-year veteran of the force who most recently served with the Emergency Task Force. He leaves behind his wife and 2 children. In a news release Tuesday, Toronto Police said a funeral service will be held for Pinizzaro on June 24th at 1 p.m. at the Toronto Congress Centre. The funeral is not open to the public, but members of the public are being invited to view the procession as it travels from the funeral home in Thornhill to the convention center. While we appreciate the public support, the funeral is not open to the general public. It will include communities close to the family, police services, and emergency service personnel, police said in a statement. Private visitations for Pinizzotto are also taking place for family, friends, and colleagues in the days leading up to the funeral. The visitations are closed to the public and the media.
This was all from us today. I'm Kubra Ali, and I'll see you back tomorrow, same time, same channel,